Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as if someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door, only this and nothing more.
Distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here for evermore.
And the silken, sad, and certain rustling of each purple curtain filled me with fantastic tears never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, he stood repeating, "'Tis some visitors entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This is it and nothing more."
Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," I said, "Madame, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door, darkness there, and nothing more."
Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word Lenore, merely this and nothing more.
Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thread is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more."
Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter.
And there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore.
Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he.
But with mine of lord or lady perched above my chamber door.
Perched upon the bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door. Perched and sat and nothing more.
Then the sea bonny bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of a countenance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art no craven, gossip grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me why the lordly name is on a night's Platonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Much I marvel at this ungainly cloud, your discourse superior. Through it answered little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door. Bird or beast upon the sculpture blessed above his chamber door with such name as nevermore.
But the raven sitting lonely on the palisade bust spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, none of feather than he fluttered. Till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore.
Startled at the silence, broke by the reply, so reply spoken that was, said I, what is yours is it only shocking store, caught from some unhappy master, from unfrequently disaster, falls faster, tilt his song one burden o'er, tilt the dears of his hope that merrily burn more of never, nevermore.
But the raven still beguiling on my fancy into smiling. Straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I lifted myself into leaking fancy into fancy, thinking of this ominous spread of yore. But this grim, ungainly, ghastly gaunt and ominous spread of yore met in cloaking nevermore.
This I sat engaging, guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose very eyes now burned into my bosom score. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining, that the lamp light gloated over, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamp light gloating over, she shall press at him.
Then the salt air grew denser, perfumed an unseen censer. Swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tough floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God has lent thee. By these angels he has sent thee. Respite and neptha from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nephtha, and forget this lost unborn. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore.
Desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly I implore.
Is there, falling daily, tell me I am poor, quoth the raven, nevermore.
Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, till this soul with sorrow laden if, within the distant Aden, it shall clasp a saint maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore.
Be that word our sign of parting, bird or friend. I shrieked up staring, get thee back into the tempest and the night's gloom, ancient shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken.
Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take the beat from out my heart and take thigh from off my door. The raven, nevermore.
And the raven, never fitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming.
And the lamplight o'er him streaming throws a shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.